Today we will study how the OLS estimator satisfies the blue property in case of a multiple regression model. Okay. Now in the last video I have shown you how to derive this term, that is the OLS estimator in case of multiple regression model. So it looks something like this, and we will see that whether this OLS estimator in case of multiple regression model satisfies the blue property, that is whether it is best, whether it is linear, or whether it is unbiased. Okay, so if the three conditions are satisfied, or if the three properties are satisfied, then we will call that beta cap is a blue estimator, or is the best linear unbiased estimator in case of a multiple regression model. So basically we will obviously see that it is a blue property, it satisfies the blue property, and we will say that we can say that the OLS estimator, whether in case of multiple regression model or a single regression model, satisfies the blue property. Okay, so let us start with the linearity property. So first we have this term which we have derived from the OLS estimator process, and then what we will do, we will just put the value of y. We will substitute the value of y over here. We know y equals to x into beta plus u. This is the model. Okay, so the main model is this, and just we have substituted the value of y over here, and then what we have done, we have multiplied this entire term with x beta once. Okay, then we have again multiplied this entire term with u. Okay, and then in this step what we will see that x transpose x is being multiplied with its inverse. So just for an example, let us take 2, and if we multiply it with its inverse, it means that we are multiplying with half. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled and we are left with only 1. So over here also we should get 1. However, this x transpose x and this term is not is basically a matrix. So when we multiply a matrix with its inverse, we get identity matrix and not 1. So we have derived over here a identity matrix, and beta multiplied by an identity matrix will give you again beta, and this term will remain as it is. So what we can see is that beta cap is basically a linear estimator, because the highest power of these terms is only 1. Okay, so therefore we can call it beta cap is a linear estimator. Then let us quickly move to unbiasedness property. We will start the unbiasedness property with the last line of the linearity property. So this is the last line of the linearity property, and what we will do over here, we will just take estimation on both sides. Okay, now estimation or of beta will give you beta, because beta is a constant and estimation of beta is beta, and estimation of a constant is a constant, therefore estimation of beta is equals to beta. Similarly, estimation will get distributed with this term. Okay, and we know that estimation of error term is basically 0. So this term will become 0, and therefore the entire term will turn out to be 0, or it will get vanished. So we are left with beta. So when this condition exists, we can say that beta cap is an unbiased estimator of beta. See, it is written over here, beta cap is an unbiased estimator of beta. Now we shall move to the best property, or the minimum variance property, which is the biggest and the most important property. Okay, so the first line is that variance of beta cap is given by estimation of this term. Okay, so this is basically the formula, you have to memorize it. Okay, and this has been discussed in while dealing with the blue property in case of single variable regression model. So the formula has remained same. However, in this case these are basically matrices. So now comes this term beta cap minus beta. Now what is the value of beta cap minus beta? This can be derived from the last line of linearity program. So we have beta cap equals to beta plus this term, no? So if I take beta on this side, then we will get beta cap minus beta, and it will be equals to only this term. So beta cap minus beta is basically this term, and so we will substitute this term in place of beta cap minus beta. Okay, so we have substituted over here. Similarly again we have beta cap minus beta, and along with it we have a transpose. So the transpose term of this term can be written in this manner. Okay, for your understanding I have written it separately. So beta cap minus beta is equals to this term. Now while distributing the transpose, in the next step what we will do, we will put transpose with only those terms which do not have the transpose in the earlier term. So here u was independent of any transpose, so now u comes to the front along with the transpose, and whereas x was with the transpose, it gets independent of the term transpose. Okay, so basically we have this term. Now we will distribute the estimation with the entire term, and so after distributing the estimation with this entire term, we have ended up over here where we get estimation of u into u transpose, and according to the assumption that we have already dealt in the last video, we see that this term is equals to sigma u square identity matrix. Now sigma u square into identity matrix implies sigma u square only, so we are left with only sigma u square in the next step. Okay, and the rest terms are placed as they are. Now you can see that this term is a transpose or is a inverse of this term. So a matrix multiplied with its inverse will give you identity matrix. Okay, and identity matrix, so multiplying these two terms will give you an identity matrix, and multiplying this identity matrix with this term will give you the same term. Okay, so or you can say multiplying this term will give you 1, and 1 into this term will give you the same term. Okay, so this is the variance of beta cap in case of multiple regression model. Now we will compare it with another estimator which is also considered to be, or which is assumed to be, linear and unbiased. However, after comparison we will see that the variance of beta cap is smaller than the variance of the other estimator that we will consider now. Okay, so only if we find that the variance of beta cap is less than the variance of other estimator of beta, then only we can say that it is best. Okay, so comparison is a must. In order to call this estimator as a best estimator, we need to compare it, and we have to see whether it has a lesser variance than any other estimator. Okay, so for the next step, for the comparison step, we will consider a estimator named as beta star, and we will consider it to be a linear as well as unbiased. And beta star is defined as beta cap plus cy. So we have defined beta star in this manner. Okay, and we know that beta cap is equals to this term. Then in the next step, what we are doing, we are just taking y common. Okay, then what we are doing in the next step, we are putting or substituting the value of y. Okay, then then what we will do, we will multiply this entire term with x beta once, and then again we will multiply this entire term with u, so we will get two terms. Okay, and after that by performing simple simplification we have arrived at this step. In this step what we will do, we will now take estimation on both sides. Okay, now estimation, now before taking estimation I have skipped one step over here. This this matrix x transpose into x matrix is being multiplied with its own inverse, so we will be left with a identity matrix, and identity matrix into beta will give you again beta, and expectation of beta will give you beta again, because expectation of a constant is a constant. Then we have this term, this has been kept as it is, and estimation has been distributed with u, and over here also with u. So these two terms will get vanished because estimation of u or the error term will give you 0. So this term and this term will get vanished, and we will be left with this term and beta. Now we have already assumed here that this beta star is linear as well as unbiased. So for linearity it is proved because the highest power of this term is 1, and for unbiasedness we have to prove beta star, estimation of beta star should be equals to beta. Now if this beta star is unbiased, that means this term should be equals to 0, and only then beta star will become a unbiased estimator of beta. So based on our assumptions we have kept this Cx into beta equals to 0. Okay, now we shall calculate the variance of beta star. So the formula for beta star is this, variance is this. Now over here first what we have done, we have substituted the value of beta star by beta cap plus cy. See, in the first phase only we have defined beta star as beta cap plus cy, so we have just substituted this value in place of beta star. Okay, and then we have kept minus beta as it is. Over here also we have substituted the value of beta star. Now in the next step we have put the value of, or we have imputed the value of beta cap. Okay, now according to the OLS estimator, beta cap for multivariable regression model is equals to x transpose into x inverse into x transpose y. Now this is the OLS estimator in case of multiple regression model, and we have substituted the value of beta cap over here. Okay, and the rest term has been kept at it is. Again we have substituted the value of beta cap over here, and the rest term has been kept as it is. Okay, then here we can see that we can take y common. So we have taken y common and from these two terms, keeping aside this beta term. So we have taken y common, and this is what we have ended up with. Then in the next step what we are doing, we are keeping this term as it is, and we are substituting the value of y with x beta plus u. We know that y equals to x beta plus u. This is the actual model, so we will just substitute the value of y in this place. Okay, and then minus beta is kept as it is. Again in this step also, in this term also, we are substituting the value of y and keeping minus beta as it is. Now we will get a very big term. Now this entire term will be multiplied with, this entire term will get multiplied with this x beta 1. Okay, so what we are doing, we are multiplying this term on this part of the term with x beta. Okay, then again we are multiplying this term with c. Then again what we are doing, we are multiplying this term with this and this term with this. Okay, and last we have minus beta. So just we are multiplying these two terms with each other, and the last term minus beta is kept as it is. Similarly we will perform the same thing over here, and always remember to keep a transpose at the end. Okay, so this entire term, the second term, comes with a transpose. Now let us see what the first term ends up with. Now over here this term will become identity matrix or 1, so we will be left with only beta. Okay, and according to our assumption, this term is equals to 0, so this term has got vanished. This term has remained as it is, this term also has remained as it is, and minus beta also has remained as it is. Similarly, same thing we will be performing for the second term, and we will be left with this entire term. Okay, now in the first term we see that beta plus and beta minus gets cancelled. In the second term also beta plus beta and minus beta get cancelled. So now we are left with only this term. Now step, what we will do, we will, from these two terms we can take u as common. So we have taken u and as common, and the rest term has been kept it is in the bracket, and the second term has been written as it is given in the earlier step. Okay, and in the next step, now what we will do, if we break the transpose or distribute the transpose across the term, now these u terms are independent of any transpose. So when we will break the transpose, this u will get associated with transpose sign. Okay, and then we will have u transpose over here, and this term will also consist of a u transpose term. So now we can take u transpose common from these two terms, and it has been written here. Okay, and the rest term has been kept in the bracket. Now we had estimation outside the bracket. Now if we distribute estimation in along all the terms, it will be something like this: E estimation of u into u transpose, or estimation of u square. Now estimation of u square, as we know, is written as sigma u square, and the rest term have been kept as it is. Then what we will do, we will multiply these two terms, and by multiplication, or the product of these two terms is this term. Okay, then by assumption we know that c into x into beta equals to 0. Then this implies cx equals to 0. Okay, now if we cross multiply and bring beta over here, 0 divided by beta will obviously give you 0 again. So cx equals to 0 we have established from this assumption. Now in the next step, what we will do, we will put 0 in the place of cx over here, 0. That's what we have done. In the next step, we have substituted the value of cx as equals to 0 over here also 0, and thus we are left with only x transpose x inverse and c into c transpose. Okay, now this x into x transpose has been derived by multiplying this entire term. Now this multiplication of this term with this term will give you an identity matrix, and multiplying this identity matrix with this term will give you x transpose x to the power inverse, and that's what we have over here. And lastly, what we will do, we will distribute sigma u square with both of these two terms. Now this term is equals to variance of beta cap. See, variance of beta cap is this. Okay, plus some positive quantity or some positive amount. Okay, so thus we can see that variance of beta cap was only sigma u x transpose x inverse. Okay, so variance of beta cap was only this, whereas variance of beta star is equals to variance of beta plus something more. Okay, so that means variance of beta cap is smaller than variance of beta star, because variance of beta star has something more than variance of beta cap. Okay, thus we can say that variance of beta cap has the least or the lowest variance compared to any other estimator, and therefore variance of beta cap, as it is less, therefore we can consider beta cap to be the best estimator, as it has the lowest variance. Okay.